Hello, best friend, and welcome back to my channel. Best friend, Hailey Bieber just opened up about everything. And girl, I have the article. So today is story time, article reading with a reading class. Do you guys remember when you were in school and they would put in the movie or it was like a reading to yourself type class and you're like, oh girl, I got a free period. This is what it's giving. So listen, welcome back to my channel. If you are new, my name is Sebastian. I spill pop culture tea every single day. So if you're looking for a new messy best friend, you have found me. Why don't you grab a snack and a drink? Get comfortable, best friend, because I'm going to be reading the whole article to you, bitch, okay? Now listen, don't make fun of my dyslexia because you know that sometimes my dyslexics. So, don't come for me with the dyslexia comments, okay? Best friend, listen, we gotta talk because Hailey Bieber just opened up. Girl, why am I in Chanel.com? Girl, I don't want Chanel. Hailey Bieber opened up about everything. Her father, her family, the divorce rumors, the pregnancy, everything, okay? And the article is long, so let's get into it. It says, okay, when Hailey Bieber begins a statement with "the internet is a scary place for a pregnant woman," you can't be entirely sure what will follow. With the detail, the cognitive dissonance created when doom scrolling collides with life bearing or divulge the fears she has about bringing a child into the harsh glare of fame's spotlight, as a 27-year-old model and entrepreneur did over a year ago when she jokingly said that the prospect made her cry all the time. Turns out it's neither a global nor a hyper-personnel worry that gives Bieber pause when she's tempted to go online. It's a problem for the digital age that happens to be deeply relatable. Cyberchondria, also known as the anxiety or negative outcome of online health informing seeking, per one scientific journal. Girl, what? What is this, a Harvard paper? Just fucking go to the damn interview. Damn. You see so many stories, traumatic birth stories, traumatic experiences, and I know that's very real, she says, resting her pink manicured hands gently on her belly. But I don't want to scare myself. When we meet, it's been a month since Hailey and Justin Bieber's pregnancy announcement, and she looks the opposite of apprehensive, curled up on one end of a leather sofa at the studio in Hollywood where she filmed her YouTube series, Who's in My Bathroom and What's in My Kitchen. Girl, I thought she filmed at home. Okay. Bieber is dressed in a cropped white tee and black low-slung Halsa jeans that cradle her exposed baby bump as if she what, bitch? Expose her baby bump as if they were expressively designed for maternity wear. Her face is almost bare of makeup, revealing a dusting of freckles across the bridge of her nose and cheeks, which are kissed pink from the blush from her skincare brand Rhode. After a first trimester marked by acute morning sickness, I don't know why they call it that because it lasts all day long. We need to change the name, she says. With a vexed smile, Bieber has arrived at the home stretch feeling good, thanks to strength training workouts and a high-protein diet consisting of lots of eggs, chicken, and steak. Her publicist has brought in several grocery bags of prepared food from Air One. Of course, girl. Air One, duh! Girl, and a selection of water and kombucha. But Bieber's pregnancy food directive during... But Bieber's primary food directive during pregnancy says, I just listen to whatever the baby wants. If the baby wants pizza one day, we're doing pizza. A self-proclaimed foodie, she's allowed herself one extravagance during pregnancy, hiring a private chef to prepare dinners at home, something that she readily, almost sheepishly acknowledges a huge luxury. Did the writer get paid for more words? I feel like they went to Webster Dictionary and just chose, girl, what are the biggest words I can fucking find? Damn. Okay, so where was I, bitch? Hiring a luxury. Bieber adopts a similar demeanor when I asked about the new Lorraine Shorts design diamond ring she's wearing on her wedding ring, finger. And she's quick to dispel tabloid rumors that the new ring is upwards of 10 carats larger than her old engagement ring. She says, actually, this is only 1 carat bigger. It's just elongated. She says, before she pulls her hands back and folds her fingers onto her lap to hide them. They're going off with their own stories about it. I don't like it. I didn't want to talk about it, she says, staying polite but guarded. Not wanting to talk about it, explain or apologize for every detail of her private life was one motivation for her hiding her pregnancy for 6 months. The other was a product of happenstance. I don't know what the fuck that means. I was honestly able to keep it quiet because I stayed small for a long time, she says. I didn't have a belly, really, until I was 6 months pregnant, which was when I announced it. I was able to wear big jackets and stuff. Still, striving for privacy can take its toll. I probably could have hid it until the end, she says. But I didn't enjoy the stress of not being able to enjoy my pregnancy outwardly. I felt like I was hiding this big secret and it didn't feel good. I wanted the freedom to go out and live my life. The desire to live her life comes up multiple times throughout our interview, a telltale sign of how difficult it's been to do just that since she became Miss Bieber 6 years ago. Though she's worked with a therapist to, in her own words, compartmentalize the negative scrutiny she receives on a daily basis, there are certain aspects of her experience of mega fame that are harder to box away. People have made me feel so bad about my relationship since day one. Oh, they're falling apart. They hate each other. They're getting divorced. It's like people don't want to believe that we're happy, she says. I used to try to act like it hurts less and less. I've tried to think that you get used to it at a certain point, that this is what's going to be said and this is how people are going to be. But I realize it doesn't actually ever hurt any less. In person, Bieber is younger looking and more delicately featured and petite than her red carpet appearances or her latest Saint Laurent campaign. Would you believe? The Hailey that the public knows projects the confidence of an OG girl boss, a power-suited career woman who has just stepped out of a Patrick Nigel poster. It just made her the ideal brand ambassador for Tiffany & Co., Jimmy Choo, Calvin Klein, and Versace. Labels where female strength and luxury make excellent bedfellows. But that stereotype, tough with a certain emotional detachment, tends to eclipse the person who lives beyond those glossy images. The real Hailey smiles easily, talks with her hands, wrinkles her nose when she laughs, performs silly challenges like speed flower arranging with guests on her YouTube shows, and is, at the end of the day, a 20-something in the throes of early adulthood, still trying to figure it all out. Whew, okay, girl. Born in Tucson, Arizona, to the actor Stephen Baldwin and his wife, the graphic designer Kenya Diato Baldwin, and raised in New York, Bieber describes her early years as happy ones. I had a fairly normal childhood. Obviously, I come from the family that I come from, and I always recognized that was different. The younger of 2 daughters acknowledges, I'm not super close with my family at this point in my life because I feel like I'm very independent. I'm my own individual and I've built my own family. But when I look back on my childhood and how I grew up, I have very fond, beautiful memories. Bieber signed with Ford Models at 17 and moved to New York City, where she says somewhat that she found herself suddenly surrounded by a lot of grown people doing very grown things. I started traveling the world, making my own money. I got my own apartment and had to learn how to live on my own and pay bills. That pushed me into adulthood kind of quickly, when most of my friends were just leaving for college. Whew! Professional surfer and Hawaii native Kelia Moniz, a close friend from those formative days in New York, confirms that the bestie she had on speed dial for nearly the past decade has always had an adventurous streak. We used to go to Montauk a lot because my husband's family has a house out there. referring to the photographer Joe Termini, who introduced her to Hailey and Justin. The first time I took Hailey wake surfing, it was really a stupid idea, honestly. She's always been a little afraid of water, but I said, Hailey, I promise you, we'll do this together. We're both on the same surfboard. She's lying down in front of me, and I'm holding the rope. When Joe takes off on the boat, I stand up first, and then I pull her up from the back of her wetsuit, and Moniz interrupts her own story laughing, saying she had these tiny long legs and she's trying to stand up on the surfboard and she looked like a deer after they've been born, trying to find their feet. It was the worst idea because it was the hardest way for her to learn how to surf, but we had so much fun. What the fuck does that story have to do with anything? I'm sorry, girl, what? They're just trying to fill in. This reporter got paid to put many words. It's like, if you put 1,500 words, we'll pay you more. Because, like, what the fuck is that story about? Montauk, okay, what? Despite suboptimal conditions that day in Montauk, Bieber didn't hesitate to get on the board again with Moniz. We did it right the second time and surfed together in Waikiki. It's the best place in the world to learn. Girl, what? Okay, anyways. We're just reading this, girl, okay? It says here, we did it right the second time. Moniz, a two-time ASP Women's World Longboard Champion whose family owns a Honolulu surf school and is regarded as surf royalty, says, I think people wouldn't expect her to go surfing, but she's always down. Stepping boldly into the unknown might be the hallmark of a modern woman, but it's also the quality that led Bieber to make the decidedly old-fashioned decision to wed at age 21, which was the norm for women some 50 years ago. While she maintains that marrying young was the right move for her, Bieber points a pink talon toward an empty club chair opposite the sofa we're seated on and says, I wouldn't tell a 21-year-old in that chair right there. I think you should get married. It's really each individual's experience. As she and Justin draw near to the reality of an expanded family, Bieber's taking full advantage of the time the two have remaining as a couple without children. She says, in the beginning of the pregnancy, it was super emotional for me. Like, I love this human so much. How can I possibly bring someone else into this? I'm trying to soak in these days of it being Justin and me, just the two of us. Another milestone Bieber reached ahead of many of the peers is building her own company, the skincare Rhode, in 2022. She says, I knew that I wasn't going to stay in the modeling world forever, and I always wanted to parlay that into something else. For a while, I wasn't sure what that was until I started Rhode. And I was like, oh, this is what I'm meant to be doing. This is where I feel confident and authentic. Her self-awareness kicks in as soon as she finishes that thought, as though she's anticipating an eye roll. She says, I knew it was a really oversaturated space and everyone was tired of celebrity brands, she says, so I wanted to come in with a different point of view. The most important thing is that the efficiency of the product was inside the bottle. But not only that, I wanted it to feel chic. I wanted it to feel cool. Rhode's philosophy is centered on bringing its founder's trademark dewy glow and minimalistic polish to the masses. I looked at it from my point of view of style. Like, what are the essential items you need to have in your closet? The perfect leather jacket, the perfect pair of jeans, the perfect white tee. So it came down to, what are your must-haves that make up your skincare routine? Wardrobe. You don't need to have a 9-step routine to have great skin. It doesn't have to be that complicated. Though her harshest detractors, I don't know what that is, have long dismissed Bieber's career accomplishments as the product of nepotism, something she's shown a sense of humor about by wearing a Nepo Baby t-shirt when snapped by paparazzi. The success her company has achieved in 2 short years is undeniable. Rhode's first launch consisted of 3 skincare products, and one, the peptide glazing fluid, immediately sold out and generated a 100,000 person waiting list. a pineapple cleanser, and 2 beauty products, a lip treatment that comes in clear and tinted versions, and the pocket blush have followed and have been embraced with equal fervor. Okay, girl, fervor? Shortly after launching the brand, Bieber was hauled on the cover of Forbes 30 Under 30 issue as a model to mogul the following year. She was honored as a member of the next generation of leadership in Time magazine. This past February, Rhode announced a new CEO, Nick Vlos, the executive who led Jessica Alba's Honest Company to an IPO valuation of $1.44 billion, suggesting that Bieber has bigger moves in store for her little bit beauty brand. Don't expect the Gen Z influencer to turn onto a corporate stiff anytime soon. Though one of Rhode's most hyped products is a silicone iPhone case, which is designed with a slot to hold its popular lip tint. It's at once a playful and practical product. When I ask how that came to be, she says, we were in a meeting one day and I had one of those sticky things on the back of my phone, she says, picking up her iPhone, which is encased in Rhode's shortcake colorway. We were talking and I was sticking the lip tint on the back of the phone, and collectively everyone was like, huh? Then I said, wait, can we do this? Can we make something that can hold this in your phone? Can somebody Google if this exists? She says, her voice growing louder in excitement, and it didn't. The legendary makeup artist Pat McGrath, who helms her own billion-dollar beauty brand and who's known Bieber since she was a fledgling model, credits Rhode's success to its founders' intimate involvement in the development. What is always going to set Rhode apart is that it's truly an extension of Hailey and her commitment to creating products that reflect her own beauty philosophy: simple, effective, and fun. She has a deep understanding of what today's consumers want, and she's delivering it with authenticity and passion. So long, girl. Even Wired magazine, whose reader demographic is squarely male and middle-aged, grudgingly gave the lip case its due, writing, the simple, curvy lip-on phone case highlighted the fact that there is an entire universe of gear that has yet to exist, especially for women. Both Porsche and Heinz Ketchup capitalized on the phone's case viral appeal by releasing ads marketing similar designs to hold car keys and ketchup products. Despite having more than 52 million followers on Instagram, Bieber is still surprised by the vastness of her reach. The biggest compliment for me is if I'm out somewhere and someone waves their lip treatment at me. It's the most surreal feeling, she says. I can't believe that that person went out and bought it. Bieber's publicist pokes her head into the room to tell her that she's in danger of missing her flight and helps pack up the Air One leftovers. I ask where she's headed. She says Idaho. Bieber says where she and Justin have a house. And will it be just the two of you? Girl, what? And will it be just the two of them for one last baby moon? Question mark. She nods. He's already there, she says, waiting for me. And that's the thing. Listen, I'm gonna say, girl, listen, you guys know I have dyslexia. I feel like that wasn't that terrible. I know I probably like jumped some words and didn't know what some of the words meant, but I feel like I did okay, right? But anyways, what do you guys think of the article? There's just one thing about Hailey that I always see fans wanting from her, and it's to open up more, to be a little bit more like relatable, to be a little bit more, just like kinder and more real. And I think she's maybe getting the hint of it, but she still needs to work on it. And just be a little more like open. This was her first interview as, pregnant. I just feel like maybe she could have been like, oh, you know what, girl? These cravings, and I'm doing this, and I have these stretch marks, be a little bit more real. But I get it, there's an aesthetic that has to be, done. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. I hope you guys enjoyed Story Time with Sebastian, reading class of the day. I love you all. I'm so grateful and thankful for you guys, and I will see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, best friend.